Well, let's get this over with, I guess. Here's the moment we've all been fucking waiting for. What everything this entire game has been building up to. Where I finally go into Tassadar and complain about Tassadar and what they've done to my boy. If it hasn't been clearly stated already, Tassadar in the past was a top 10 hero for me. If not, he might have been a top 5. I'm like thinking about it and I'm like, okay, who have I really liked? Like, I think like people like Falstad, people like ETC, obviously people like Lunara, Greymane, Lily, Thrall, uh, potentially Illidan, maybe, depends on the moment. Certainly Rhaegar. And Tassadar was absolutely in that company, and honestly, I'd say he was certainly higher than some of those people. I didn't mention everyone who I really liked. Obviously, there's going to be people left out, but those were some of them, and old Tassadar was that. Now, this guy, in the live version of the game, has had 3 different forms that he's gone through. And this third one, I think, is the worst. Because it's not him anymore. This isn't Tassadar. This is somebody else. This is a different hero wearing his skin. The old Tassadar is dead. He can't come to the phone right now. Bye-bye. So, way back in the day, he was a weird support character. Yeah, support character. Like these. He fit among these. So there was 5 as opposed to 4. Wow. Wonderful. And early on, he was defined primarily by going for shield talents in the early game that would give life leech to heroes that got his shields. He would talent for that kind of thing. Then he would go for talents on an E ability that no longer exists. Instead, that E ability is kind of here. He becomes stealthed and unrevealable, but cannot use abilities. Attacker use abilities for 1.5 seconds. This used to be a baseline ability on like a pretty longish cooldown. But it was different too, because he just left the dimension. Here he becomes stealthed, and he gains movement, speed, and armor. Before he left this plane of existence, which was a lot cooler, and it was a very good get-out-of-jail-free card. Might have been a little bit too good with some of those builds, because he would get like a cooldown reset every time he took a large amount of, when he went below a certain threshold, or when he took a large amount of damage. And it also gave him movement speed eventually. He had a bunch of other weird talents at that time. He was like a weird utility master kind of character. He had freaking promote, I guess. He could place walls up, which he can still do now. And then he would pop off with Archon at level 10, and then eventually he would get the upgrade to it that would give him infinite duration, or potentially infinite duration on his Archon. A lot of that stuff is still there, but a lot of it has been removed. For instance, Tassadar is no longer a utility character. But when he got reworked, what they did is they took that fundamental idea and then baked some of it into his base kit and then eliminated some of it. So what was called the Tassadar race car, where that shadow walk or dimension shift, whatever it was called, definitely wasn't shadow walk, I think it was like dimension shift, would give you movement speed. They took that out because they were like, guys, that's a little bit ridiculous. Like, it already is pretty strong at getting him out of problems. Like, doesn't need to be that good, right? So they completely eliminated that, but they kept the ability in his kit, because, when you rework a character, you do like to keep the abilities that they have in their kit and not, for instance, eliminate half of them and replace them with different shit. Spoiler. They made his shields that he had on his Q have life leech innately, but they made it a little bit weaker. And they also did not give it infinite duration like it did in the past. Because heroes like, well, I mean, heroes like, honestly, it was mostly just Tracer made infinite shields extremely problematic because this character could just life leech forever and would be so utterly ridiculous, so completely absurd in how strong she was with Tassadar shields. It would offset her only weakness, which was how squishy she was. So she was hypermobile, did tons of damage, and couldn't be killed. These two were bedfellows. So they took out the infinite duration and gave it significantly more downtime, but the same ostensible idea existed, which was you place shields on people to prevent damage and also for life leech. He still kept his W for wave clear, and he still had his E to dimension shift out of trouble. So, that was my favorite Tassadar. Because how he worked was, like, you could, if you wanted to, build a very shield-oriented style and then just support one divey auto attacker for all that you're worth, or you could go for a more flexible build, give shields where they're needed, throw out a little bit of damage here and there, maybe throw a wall out if that's what you want to go for, possibly spec into Archon, and then go for Twilight Archon for that big level 20 damage spike, and team fight functionality spike at level 20. It was just so fun, and people were always like, oh, well, Tassadar can only be played in this very specific support role, and he sucks all the rest of the time. I said bullshit. That's untrue. His shields are very solid. He brings great wave clear to any team, and he brings so much utility. And I just want to talk about his old kit a little bit, because I think it was great. He had a shield on his Q. He had Psionic Storm on his W, which is great wave clear, great poke damage, great zoning. Still good. Still like Psi Storm. And then he had his Dimension Shift, which kept him super duper safe. His trait was an ability called Oracle, which isn't exactly in here. It's kind of here, but you have to channel to do it. This is not a talent I fuck with very much. But Oracle was just a button you'd press to reveal an area. So he had reveals, shields, wave clear, solid damage. Like, he had a really well-rounded kit that really, like, slotted him perfectly into that support role. He definitely wasn't a main healer. Never was going to do that. But he filled a lot of different niches. And it felt like I could queue up as Tassadar and I wouldn't ever feel completely useless. And that was such a good feeling. I really value that in heroes. That's why I like Illidan so much, to be honest. I never feel like I'm going to be totally useless on Illidan, unless if I play badly and I get blown up over and over and over again. Sometimes happens. And then D-Day happened, and they decided they didn't like Tassadar as he was in the game, I guess. I think they thought maybe the shields were too problematic as a mechanic. They came from a time when we didn't have heroes like Tracer. We didn't have heroes that were so mobile and could heal so much off their auto attacks. And even though I don't think Tassadar was particularly problematic outside of like the competitive scene, which by the time Tassadar got changed was dead by the fucking way, they just decided to nuke the character from orbit and completely change everything about him. So shields are gone in favor of a straight line skill shot that does damage and slows enemies. Force Wall, which used to be a heroic pick, is now a baseline ability. His Archon is still Archon. His trait is gone. His Dimension Shift is gone. And where Force Wall was is now Black Hole, which is just mundane crowd control. Mundane crowd control heroic that's meant to clump heroes together so you can hit them with your fucking AoE abilities. He's a mage. That's all he is now. He's just a mage, and there's nothing particularly interesting. Now, when I say I hate Tassadar, I'm not saying so much I hate this character. I hate that he has to replace the character that I liked so much. That's all. And it hasn't happened to anybody else. They haven't gouged out half the abilities of any other hero except Tassadar. Like, it's just, they've reworked abilities, they made them work differently. That's fine. I can learn to love a character whose abilities are, changed up a little bit different if I love that character in the first place. But they didn't change up his abilities, they just remove them. And Force Wall is now no longer this utility skill. It's about locking people in place, blocking them from escape, so you can hit them with your 2 AoE abilities. I don't know. I can't get over the sense of loss from Tassadar to truly objectively interpret what he's like now. I mean, I could try. I can say he has good AoE, he does solid ranged poke damage, and Force Wall it's been a good ability, and it's still a good ability. Creating this unpathable wall is very strong, and a pretty unique thing for a mage to have, but I don't care that much. And he has his trait, which his trait's actually kind of interesting. Let's talk a little bit about it. Way back in the day, he had an ability. I think it might have just been called Resonance Beam. It was a talent that you would pick up at, I think, level 13. And it would slow enemy heroes if you attack them. His old auto attack at base was like this weird throwing thing. It was stupid. But Resonance Beam changed it into this cool beam he would channel on somebody. It was sick as fuck. People liked it on a visual level, and they decided for Tassadar's rework to put that in baseline. So that was another utility he had. He had this attack that would slow people. He would have potentially unpathable walls, AoE, shields, and an ability to get out of trouble with his dimension shift. And then Archon to pop off, especially as the game went long. So that was another thing, but they changed it a little bit, so it slows still. His basic attack is a beam that slows. When channeling, your basic attack damage and mana regeneration increases by 25% a second to a maximum of 100, while at full charge gain an extra 3 mana every second, and it's lost after 6 seconds of not channeling. So he is also a mage that is pretty focused on auto-attacking, but in a very different way than Orphea. Orphea is about tossing out an auto-attack after you get a few abilities and doing that extra bit of bursty damage. Tassadar is about training your beam on someone to slow them and also help yourself. I don't know, that's a mechanic. It's just anything good I can say about Tassadar is sabotaged by the fact that this isn't a hero that I care about. I don't think he fulfills anywhere near as unique a role in the game as he did before, and I'm salty that this support role, which has essentially 3 heroes, Vikings don't freaking count, lost 25% of them overnight. I just remember I queued up as Tassadar one day, and I didn't check anything about him, his tooltip or anything here. And I just opened up, and I'm just seeing, oh my god, where's my shield? Where's my shit? Where's my shit? And I had to actually just figure stuff out in the moment. And I think I won that match, but it doesn't even matter, because after that I looked long and hard through this, and I mourned. So that's my thoughts on Tassadar. R.I.P. King. We barely knew ye. I just wanted to say, I had someone who I would queue with, and they would be like, Tassadar is trash, dude, stop playing Tassadar. I'd pull fucking MVP so often. No deaths, top siege damage, good hero damage, lots of kills, so much support and healing. And I didn't even need to do the whole freaking
shielding somebody, shielding Tassadar or shielding Tracer to get extra healing.
I would shield Nartanis, dude. It would work just fine. Anyway, let's go. Throws me back, dude. Anyway, in terms of talents, he used to have a Q build that people like to pick, but I think people have kind of flipped to liking auto attack builds, or rather trait builds. So keep clicking away. I'm just gonna pick a trait build.
From order comes justice.
So Archon, oh, okay.
Comes justice.
We here to pretend that it's the good old days. Like we still have shields, and we still have promote, and force walls are heroic, and shadow walk is still dimensional shift, and it's a baseline ability attached to your E key. Fuck this. Really unhappy that this is one of the characters where my audio got really fucked up. That's disappointing to me, because I don't want to play this guy anymore. Just the paragon of mediocrity here. Assis holdout. What the fuck is this? What is this? Why? Never mind. I don't give a shit. Who's our solo lane? Who cares? Probably Varian, I guess. Train wreck of a fucking map. What would be the best build here? Maybe an auto attack build. Hey, you know, Tassadar is unique in that way. He is a mage with an auto attack build. That's a gimmick.
Warriors, I shall lead you to victory.
Ready to roll out?
As ever.
Be careful.
Standing still versus Maiev is a bad idea.
Battle
That's all I'll say.
commencing in 10 seconds.
I'm gonna pick a W build because I understand the W
5,
ability.
4, 3, 2, 1.
No, she ain't. No, she's not. I'm gonna let you know she is not fucking good soul. Okay. I'm gonna stop talking because people will assume I'm extremely salty, but I just don't think a Hammer Soul Lane is a great idea. Hey y'all, what's up? And now that we've dropped our abilities, all that we do is this, and then we put a wall up, and we have one of our heroes get hooked through the wall, and you can't do much about that, can we? Not even gonna try to really do much more. Damage somebody. Pretty cool. Anyway, W build is all about doing big old AoEs, and I think there's a pretty small area here. Storm covers most of that area. You get the picture, right? Like, come on. I'm actually not going to throw my Q out on the minions just because, how does that benefit me? You know? It doesn't. Okay, being auto-attacked. Helping Hand hooks the Vala back. Yeah, you don't want to kill the minion way too early. It just ends up like, oh, here's a globe for you, my good friend enemy team. Solo hammer versus an ETC. God only fucking knows what that could possibly mean.
The beacons have activated. Control them.
Just gonna slow them a bit.
Decent.
Now here it's fine because we have a friend here to pick the globe up right there. And I'm gonna tap right now. Doing top damage on the field. Feels pretty good. Now, I do say in the tier maker video, or rather I admit, that I have at times hyperbolized how much I really despise new Tassadar. He's just not the same hero, that's all. Like, I think I start by, not to spoil everything, but I do start with making him a D tier hero, and I think I raise him up to like C plus or minus.
By your will.
No escaping. You stand there. Unfortunately, that's some death right there.
Choose
Okay,
a
I am
talent.
leaving.
Not bad at all.
Damage coming out, and dodging hooks. I'm a genius. I'm gonna leave.
We must
I'm gonna pick up electric fence. Probably want to leave here. I don't really have much. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm coming.
Something is amiss. Exercise
Taunt Varian
caution.
plus the Tyrael. Not actually a bad idea. It's kind of like having the double tank arrangement. It does make our damage a little bit low, but it doesn't matter because I have enough damage for all of us. Me, Tassadar. All the damage we need. Let's look at that wave there with the W. Really good. I mean, that's always been the fucking case, but like...
As was foreseen.
Damage coming out again on the Maiev there. Awesome.
Good work, friend.
Ooh, boy. Drop a Q.
Killing spree.
Kill the wave. And push it in. And then just drop this here. Maybe some of it will incidentally hit them, but I will definitely do some structure damage. I'm going to place myself in this brush. I'm going to try to get the jump on them, and because of that, I'll do more damage to them than they will to me, except if it's a Stitches, in which case, ain't nothing good gonna happen from it. Ow! Holy shit! Okay. I shouldn't have even engaged there, should I have? My bad. My bad, that was stupid. That was real dumb. Hey, I guess the Sergeant Hammer solo lane is working out. What the fuck? Why is ETC their solo lane? Wouldn't... Isn't Stitches a better solo lane than ETC? Wait, depends, depends. Oh, he is going Guitar Hero. Okay, interesting. Interesting. That's an idea. Anyway, Psionic Echo is a talent that changes our playstyle quite a bit, or a little bit at least. Changes our combos a bit. Not that we actually have had combos. So what we want to do is we want to drop that, then we immediately want to drop that. So you see how we create two Psy Storms? That's because casting Psy Storm will cause Shock Ray when it contacts an enemy hero to create another Psy Storm. Look at that fucking damage that just came out. That was disgusting. Was that stacking? I feel like that might have been stacking. And I miss, so not actually very good there. But you see the idea, right? Come on! Oop, no boop happening. Here, Tyrael, pick that globe up for us, baby. Alright, there we go. Alright, cool. Unfortunately, we are losing people top, but honestly, I think just pushing in bottom would actually net us more value than trying to go top right now. What are they going to do with that? Just parlay that into just delaying the inevitable of us having a better Zerg wave? Meanwhile, this is going to fucking make their entire bottom lane worse. I did lose a lot of health there. I'm actually just gonna back completely.
Enemy fort demolished. I must retreat.
See? Strategy. Look at that. Braxis is a good map, see? You can tell it's a good map because now the enemy team is completely fucked for the rest of the game in this lane. Just like, where is there to return to? Nowhere. You eat shit. So that's how you can tell it's a good map.
Will have to deal with a much larger wave
Yeah.
of Zerg than we will.
Because they had a bad draft. Because of that bad draft, they just lose. Love this fucking map, bro. Love this map. Love this hero. Yes. I should be using my superior siege damage to come up here and do superior siege damage. Especially if I can hit a Psy Storm and then W on top, and then hit a Q on top of that. That'd be fucking cool, bro. Go! Oh my god, it did! I actually can't believe that shit. Oh, I was kind of planning on getting them out of here. Boom! The Psy Storms are falling all over. I'm picking Archon because fuck the other heroic.
As was foreseen. Double kill.
I died for it, but it was worth it.
Triple kill. May the
It was
Kala
worth it for pure
guide your
hubris.
path.
I probably could have turned on Archon and Baby Lift. Nah, probably not. The building was aggroing me and I was over here. Ain't no way of getting out of that. Somebody walking here, but nah, probably not. Probably would have just blown the heroic, which is a 90-second cooldown. Damn.
Kaladora.
Damn, too dumb to hit a stationary target. Feels fucking bad, bro. How does it feel to be you? You're a boy. Oh.
For ire.
I have nothing to do up here. I kind of rotated badly.
Fight well in my absence.
I recommend everyone leave. Oh no, we can do
In any
this,
event,
certainly.
I just want to be sure.
Let not. My assistance is yours.
Yeah.
We will define the future.
Well, you don't have to do all... Okay, we are doing all this. That's cool. Goodbye, Jaina.
Have my vengeance.
Enemy slain.
Oh, I'm fucking awful. Oh, whatever.
Triple kill.
The deed was done, more or less. I just didn't kill the Vala. No big deal. What? What?
You have been slain.
How the fuck? What happened? How much health did I have? Really? They were all just aggroing me. And not anything else. Okay. Why? Doesn't matter. Really. It's just a bit of extra XP for them. But why?
The Kala is eternal.
See, this has the W image on it, but it's actually more of a physical attack build talent. I don't know what the physical, the Psy Storm talent here is. I don't think there is one. How novel. Maybe Shadow Walk. Yeah, Shadow Walk, totally. Anyway, place myself behind this.
Choose a talent.
Looks like the beacons are reactivating.
We act as one.
Sure. You don't really need to go this hard. Exactly. Well, it's to be expected, I suppose. I mean, ETC is trying to run interference. I respect the idea, but not a great Psy Storm. Psy Storm. Can't talk. Missed my Q as well. Didn't hit anybody. It's no big deal. Anything happening there? I'm leaving. See y'all later. Sergeant Hammer isn't even with us. I don't even know what we were trying. Trifling a little bit, but hey, it's fine. Wee! See y'all later. He gets a charge. That's nice. It's a good thing about this map. Unfortunately they are all up, but they're probably all gonna split too, to try to... not there, bitch.
In unity, there is strength.
Oh, hello!
For a doom.
Okay. Shadow Walk saved my life. That's cool. Shouldn't have been there. Should just let them push. Should just let this push in and get a keep while they get bottom. It's really not a big deal. Fortunately, this guy has like 3 health and he just gorged somebody because Gorge is a good heroic still. Like it's always been. It's always been a good heroic. Always been one of the best heroics in the game, truly. Like not just a stupid fucking thing. Oh, okay, okay. Doing the big boy dives. I respect it. I think maybe I don't actually.
There is strength.
Oh, I didn't see the minions coming. Aw. Now my siege damage is inadequate versus the hammer. Try to contact it, and I do. And I do. Uh-oh, this is actually bad for me. This is bad for Mr. Tassadar. Okay, I'm gonna Shadow Walk here. gonna drop this. We're just gonna start auto-attacking. Click away because I'm a fucking genius, bro. Drops so much damage. But, oh my god, I'm in a lot of pain also. A lot of pain. And I'm just gonna leave while I'm still not dead. Not ahead, just not dead. At some... Well, we weren't getting charged for that time, but I think it's fine. We just traded some heroics back and forth. Nobody accomplished anything. All's well. Now it's kind of weird because we don't know where they're going to go. Nothing indicates it. I don't think we have to get their siege camp. I don't think we have to. The damage is coming out and it's good. Unfortunately, Gorge being the best heroic in the game is hurting me a little bit. Well, the best thing I can do is just fucking kamikaze here, and I think it worked. I think it worked. I think I did a lot of fucking damage. Oh yeah. Last I looked I was in the 30s, and now I'm at 45, so... Oh boy. I'm gonna say I got all those kills, because I softened them up. That's how that works. Let's get the keep. All they have is a Maiev. That's literally all they have. Hammer doesn't agree. Hammer's just gonna walk very slowly to a bruiser camp. Why? Like, what is this? What is this? What is this choice? Go off, I guess. And go down too, I suppose. What a dumb fucking hero. I will not help you in this because I do not condone your choice. You could just fucking don't need this bruiser camp at all. Yeah, no, all bots certainly. Yeah, got an Archon, hooray. At this point, we literally the game ends itself essentially.
Keep destroyed. We will define the future.
Watch out for the bullshit. The bullshit's coming. I'm gonna block the fucking stitches with a genius fucking hook. And then we're just gonna Archon in. Fortunately, I am dying to core. As you can see, it's a very engaged playstyle. I hit a Psystorm over here, and then I dropped a Q over here, and it dropped a Psystorm. Meanwhile, I was on this side of the screen. The most engaged playstyle. Tassadar. Love to see the Tyrael MVP. I don't even know if it's deserved. I just like to see it. How does he have that much soak? You just don't ask these questions. Who did that? Don't do that. Well, hey, I definitely remember my other Tassadar had a more interesting moment at one point in it, but I don't remember what that interesting moment was. Maybe I'll just splice it in at the end. That would be funny. Just like the one good moment from the video. You can also sample the bad audio syncing. Anyway, build today was a Psystorm build. I picked up Psy Infusion, Electric Fence, Psy Echo, Archon, Shadow Walk, mostly for the stitches, Maiev, slowing jazz, Psychic Shock, and I probably would have picked up the Archon, the Infinite Archon at level 20. But also Force Barrier is pretty good. Maybe this. Who the fuck knows? Doesn't matter because it never happened. So I didn't pick any talent, and I could never pick any talent for that game because that game's now over. Wow, ephemera.